dropping out of the competition forever? It's time to find out with Demo and X.
Ian, thank you very much indeed. We are ready to bring the heat. I think Ian may have had one too many coffees trying to keep himself up for this. He is getting a little bit on, and the night is drawing on. So
it's where it gets worse.
We do want to get ourselves underway with this one before Ian runs around like a little kid again. But thank you so much for bearing with us. We did have a very short break there just to get the players ready, of course, with so much on the line. We want to make sure that everybody is well rested and prepped to get themselves into this one. And we are just about ready to throw into what will be our last map tonight, regardless of results. Oh, here we go, Demo. This is what I am talking about. Everybody at home that has voted, it has brought us to this point. We have gone 52-48. 51-49, and now we meet quite literally at the middle.
Yep.
That beautiful 50-50. Nobody knows which way this is going to go. We don't know. The players don't know. Nobody at home knows. Demonstrated. Straight down the middle, as even as you like. This, for all intents and purposes, is a best of one right now.
It's for all the marbles. And yeah, like you said, best of one essentially. This is it. This is the map. Who wins goes through. Who loses goes home. Who will it be? Will it be 86? Will it be Totem? I mean, the rally that 86 has had, my oh my, it puts a lot of, I would say, question marks above the heads of Totem. You know, where do Totem go from here? Because their mental must have been chalked.
Can Totem close a door? That's what you've got to ask yourself. Can they close a door on a map? This is the second time over the course of the games that we've seen up until this point that we've seen them struggle to convert from match point to map one. Mm-hmm. And it's potentially the second time that it's going to hurt them because, as you say, the momentum and what this does for the mental now on VIPERIO has got to be substantial. That's a huge, huge mental win. You got to ask these boys, at the start of Villa, 2-3 rounds in, did they think they were going to get to club? Realistically, like competitive spirit aside, if you were asked for a realistic answer, you've got to give, there's got to be a moment where you go, well, it's not looking good at the minute, is it? But they fought back. 8 clean rounds in a row, and they were able to take us to where they needed to be, which was that 8-6 result. Here and now, looking toward Clubhouse, they're going to start things off on the defense. Totem starting off on the attack. I don't know if there's much advantage to be gained through which side you start on, particularly if you look at how well Totem have attacked overall tonight. Don't forget, a lot of their problems on Villa came through the defensive rounds.
Look at the bans. So this kind of makes the basement so difficult to get into. Basement is going to be a real issue for attackers, and that's because you don't have a Maverick and you don't have a banner. So the feature of impact tricking, I would say, would be very, very dominant inside of this matchup. And then if you look towards gym bedroom, look towards cash and CCTV room, you don't have Kite and you don't have Bandit. So that actually makes it quite attacker-sided in many elements, Ollie. I was talking about the impact tricks. We're seeing none from 86. Not a single one.
I did have a quick glance as soon as you said it, and I thought I was going to keep myself quiet.
Yep.
But you are right. There is the possibility there for that. The thing that I'm most interested about as we move through is the fact that Valk has made a way through. Now, Clubhouse is a map where the bans are a little bit more pressured than elsewhere, and there are things that are just a given. You're going to ban the Maverick, you're going to ban a Cade, you're going to likely ban a Hibana or a Thatcher, and sometimes Valkyrie can be one that slips through the net. Sometimes Valk can get away into a club, and that's something that we've commented on, how good 86 are at utilising. They've now got the opportunity to use that.
Yeah, and Valk's pretty good for Clubhouse. If you think about how Basement plays out, it's very slow, very methodical. Usually a lot of those takes happen in the last 20 seconds. 20 seconds, that's where Valkyrie cameras really come alive in those last few seconds. If it's been unchecked, it can be a make or break. You then look at the destruction. You know, we see a lot of C4 action whenever we look at towards the cash room and CCV room. That's where, again, the Valkyrie can be massive. First pick goes in favor of Totem. Joe goes down. He was inside a bar, but he gets taken out by Eisen.
It almost looks as though it doesn't know what it wants to be this hold. Like, is it the full SSG roam or is it not? Because you've not really got any sort of mute Mozzie pressure on that top floor, and it's going to be a hatch drop that comes through. Curly's there to receive one, but Link, he pushes his way straight on into the site, and it's free. The Valkyrie camera does get taken down, so the information is exchanged, but you've got to try and attack onto this now as a defender. The plant's going down, Curly picks up his second, but Link's going to confirm the diffuser down on the ground. Disadvantage situation or not, they could still try and hold on to this, although kills start to come through.
Yeah, you look at 86 now, they are kind of attacking into the bomb site, aren't they, almost? And right now 86 just need to try and team up together. Somehow DJuice finds the kill through the smoke. I can't even see him, and I don't know how he's been able to. Link from Dirt will find another now, 2 versus 2. Totem are playing this so well. DJuice gets tagged in the back and still on. Monkey will eliminate Link, but DJuice is there in the dying seconds, finds the final kill. Wow, what a hold from the 2 remaining players of Totem.
What a hold from Totem, and what a mess from VIPERIO. They left the site light, and you can't afford to do that. If the hatches are going to be played soft, and you're going to try and implement some sort of a roam, the roam has to be substantial enough that it does a couple of things. It needs to burn enough time. It needs to burn a little bit of utility, and ideally you need to take a few people with you. Either that, or you drop off back to site. What you can't afford to happen is exactly what happened there to VIPERIO, and that is just to lose Joe for nothing and be able to start dropping hatches. I mean, Curly played well, and he played badly at the same time. He was able to get 1 kill, but I feel like he needs to push in off the back of that. Maybe he didn't anticipate 3 people dropping stock hatch. It's not every day that that sort of thing happens.
Of course, yeah.
So you can almost forgive him for grabbing 1 and thinking, that's probably job done for now. Maybe I'm going to get pushed from the top of the stairs. That's a realistic expectation. But Totem, they were just like, nope, no thank you. We're going to take this first round as quickly as we like, storm our way into the site. So much so, 86, they don't want to know. They don't want to go back down there just yet.
Yeah. So, 86 losing that first round, almost being able to pull it back, but still just wasn't enough for them. Now they head to their next bomb site. Going to be up in towards that cash room and that CCTV room. And, I mean, this is where you would expect the attackers to have, you know, quite a lot of free range to really do whatever they want. You know, there's no Bandit, there's no Kaid to worry about. The only thing that can really deny them is a Mute Jammer. But, again, Mute Jammers, they're pretty easy, Ollie, for most parts to get rid of. There's Joe, opening pick onto Mowgli. That's a good start this time from Joe. And I mean, like we said and what we've seen in Villa, whoever finds these opening picks seems to always win out that round.
Joe going to hit himself a cheeky little double. It's no small thing to say that Joe's been hit or missed tonight as a whole, but already picking himself up a couple in the early part of Clubhouse here. I mean, I think we went to sort of round number 4, round number 5 until we saw Joe see any success on Villa. So for him to get started is going to be a big win, but we know that VIPERIO's ability to get those kills is a lot deeper than just Joe on his own. DG, he's going to be aggressing on in and will take down draw. Monkey, he's kind of allowed that to happen, really. Monkey could be holding a little bit more aggressively onto that angle, but instead he's just going to get caught out, flat-footed as you like, removed from play. It's a couple of kills to respond to the earlier 2 that VIPERIO found. With the breach open, things are going to start to get a little bit more pressured here.
Yeah, good 2 kills back now for Totem. That will help them out quite a bit, being able to just have a much smoother objective of moving in towards that construction. And the only thing I would worry is, I mean, the breach over towards CCTV room right now, Ollie, it's a bit messy. It's kind of half open, and I'm pretty sure if Joe just crouches like pretty close beside it, I think he should be able to not get killed. And yeah, you look at the angle, I think he'll be fine. So that's something that Totem need to worry about. You know, if they're looking to try and pressure that side of the map and maybe try and create a cutoff, which seems to be the case right now, they need to kind of move quite quickly. They have droned out Joe, so they know exactly where he is, but I mean, how do you contest him right now?
Realistically, it's going to be quite difficult to challenge Joe, especially given that he's moving himself around to the top of these red stairs. Now he gets himself into a tricky engagement as 2 nades are popped through, and he's forced back a little bit. Eisen, one of those nades will land, as I don't think Joe knew that there was 2 going in. The plant is being confirmed. The C4 swings through. It was pre-placed. It doesn't find the planter, but it will pick 1. Still, with the plant now down, it isn't going to be easy to hold this from outside, given the way that the breach has been opened. But of course, that's a problem that works works both ways. And with how aggressively we see Eisen holding onto it, it's unlikely that Akari's really going to be able to do anything about that. Eisen just needs to time this well, can even get himself onto upside down repel as Curly goes searching. Now note, he's not actually holding on for his teammate here. Instead, he's busy getting the kill elsewhere. Eisen, you're getting pushed for time here. Curly, he didn't even need to find that final kill as his teammate Akari sticks the defuse.
What did I say about the breach? What did I say?
Scuffed.
It's messy, and that has cost them massively. The C4 kill onto the single man who was kind of in towards construction, holding the cross for the planter. No, it wasn't Link. It was what was it Link?
Juice, DG.
D-Juice.
Yeah.
He got C4'd. That's Fermite. He can't do anything. You know, that's him stuck then. Essentially 1 versus 2 because that breach is so scuffed. Eisen should have been nowhere near that breach. In reality, it's something that I don't think he needed to play off. Sure, it was good at holding Akari, but even Akari somehow slipped through him. So there has to be question marks of why he's in that position if he knows that breach is not good.
A lot of questions needing to be answered there. Probably one of the stranger attacks we've seen. You know, you get to a point with Clubhouse and maps like Clubhouse, maps like Origin, you think, you know, you've nearly seen it all. You've nearly seen every sort of... I can't really remember a time seeing a breach that scuffed in a game like this. It's not something that really happens too often. Sometimes you get the little vault if there's been a mirror window placed on it or if the thermite goes upside down to avoid something. But you don't always get like just a clean half wall that's sort of the reverse of what you would want it to be, with the open part of the wall being the lower half. Instead there, the open part was the top, and it did just make for a couple of unnecessary problems really from Reply, and it's just a little bit sloppy.
Interesting operator that we have to mention, Ollie. Fuse.
Yeah.
Had a bit of a change. So if you don't know, his cluster charges can actually go through reinforced walls now, and it will successfully get a breach down. The hockey pucks will start flying out, and also will leave just a single kind of like Maverick hole in place of the wall also. But I don't think it's an operator that, well, in my opinion, is that good. I know other people have praised it and said, oh, look how good Fuse is now. It has a lot more benefits. I mean, I consider Fuse the Chanka of the attack, where I would not touch it with a 10-foot pole.
You are quite traditional.
Yeah.
We've brought this up on Gas before.
They're just not good. I just don't like them. Like, why would you bring a Fuse over a Thatcher?
I mean, the main reason why, personally, I wouldn't bring a Fuse, he's so heavy and slow.
Like, why bring Tachanka if you have a smoke? I just, you know, like...
Fuse is a chunky operator, and that noise and the speed of movement, it's all things that you've got to really weigh into the consideration. Sure, you might be able to soak a little bit more damage, but realistically, when one-shot headshots are a thing, the amount of damage you can take is often largely irrelevant. And it's becomes very situational as to when things like corner stations or extra health or something of that nature is actually effective.
Yeah.
Just as a baseline expectation.
Yeah.
It doesn't really give you anything, but we'll see where Naox chooses to use them. Obviously, it's a way of removing a bit of utility if you are so inclined. Obviously, you mentioned there you can get through the reinforced walls with it.
Another wonky breach.
Another scuff breach. Seems to be a trend.
Yeah, and the reason why they're doing it that way is the mute jammers. They're not bringing a Thatcher to the lineup, so they can't actually breach the quote-unquote bottom half of the breach, so they have to kind of do upside down and place it a little bit higher, and that creates that weird-looking breach. So they have got the first pick totem.
Or you can just shoot it off and then not die on the rappel.
Oh,
what is going on,
that is
Joe?
Disgusting from Joe.
Joe is just running a train on Reply at the moment. Eisen, he's going to be able to shut him down, but is it going to be enough with Link down and finished? All that is left is Eisen to push his way up these main stairs, and well, 86, they know exactly where he is. He could look either way, and he's going to get pushed at this point. All three angles being held. Great play there from Joe. I mean, it was unnecessary as well at that point to remove the mute jammer. What are you really trying to gain? Like, maybe for a drone to go past? But for Buck to die, removing the mute jammer? I mean, fair enough, he removed the jammer first and then went for the repeat because I think he realized that Maestro was playing inside a gym.
Yep.
Joe's played fantastically to not only be able to get the down onto the Buck, but then to flick and find the kill onto Mowgli below. Again, sloppy stuff. Where is the totem that spent the first 30 seconds on drone? I'm looking at Link and Diju, and drone in Mowgli. And where is Mowgli in the first 30 seconds around finding an opener?
See, this is where the map difference comes in big.
Clubhouse isn't one of those maps.
You know, Villa, there is 101 ways to get into the building.
Bank.
Right? Same with Bank, yeah.
There's a million of
lot of
ways.
ways, right? If you look at this map specifically, there is not a lot of access points that you can walk through. There's a lot more access points in terms of reinforced walls and actually opening up breaches, but actual doorways, there ain't too many. Like if you look, for example, on this bomb site alone, which it looks to be, again, another one of these kind of fun setups from 86. We're going to be looking now towards a bar.
This was probably a bad example to start talking about how many doorways there are.
Well, let's use, for example, okay, let's just go with the classic cash room defense, right?
Yeah.
You have the staircase in red, you have the construction door, and the window. That's it. You look at Villa. How much stuff is there? You know, everywhere, but...
That's a horrible... It's a horrible Prisma to send out.
It's evil.
Because that's just going to flash up on the screen of the attackers for the entire round.
That's genius. I'm with it. That is genius.
I respect... Oh,
look at that.
I'd have respected that if Joe would have hit it. That would have been something special. It's just, that's a really dirty tactic to just play some frustration games, I think, from VIPERIO. And honestly, in a game like this, which is a street fight for all intents and purposes, you need it. Now, Eisen's seen some early successes, managed to take down Joe there. You can imagine that there was some nice information and a good bit of teamwork as well. Notice the skeleton keeps getting open at exactly the right moment for Eisen to peek.
He got it.
The angle has been found, so Diju has dealt with the frustration, and they've actually found the opener. So, for all intents and purposes, a good 50 seconds for Totem.
Yeah, again, it's Joe. He's went in, and he's situated in the wrong position. Here comes a hard breach gadget from the fuse, and we'll open up a hole. Looks in towards construction. So, right now for Totem, it's all about gaining that top floor control. If you gain the top floor control, you then have access to the hatch. And that hatch is big. It gives you then a bit of an access point down in towards pool table, and then you can work from there. Obviously, the vertical destruction you can gain is massive. And also, if you want to try and go for more of the stage kind of take, you have that construction hatch, which I wouldn't say it's the most useful, because you cannot get a line of sight to the guys deep inside a bar. It only really helps if somebody's, you know, skirt off to the side of stage, what have you. But yeah, for the most part, it doesn't really give you that much, but it's still, again, another access point that you can drop into.
Totem are giving themselves options here, which is really nice to see, given the way that we've seen them approach a couple of other rounds. It's very strange to not see VIPERIO go downstairs for this defense. Instead, they've opted for this first floor site, and you got to wonder, was that the right move? Obviously, at this point, it's looking like maybe not, as the kills continue to flood. Mowgli, he's got a nade with somebody's name on it, and it's going to sail through. Won't do the damage.
Oh, big pick.
Certainly disrupts a couple of players. Curly takes down Link, with it the diffuser. Trying to get himself up onto the jukebox, but it is not going to be enough. Mowgli shuts him down, presses pause on Curly for the time being. Stiju flies in with a kill of his own. Mowgli to finish. That is the Totem that we know. That is what they are capable of if they're given an opportunity, and they were given a massive one.
Yeah, lack of denial, I think, more than anything
for, weird sight.
For 86. Nothing, no ADSs, no Wamai being brought in. It was just, yeah, not the greatest in terms of actually defending against what we know Totem like to bring, which is just a hefty amount of nades. It looked as if, you know, 86, they lost those 2 kills, and then they started trying to retake almost. We've seen draw upstairs inside of construction. And like I said, it doesn't really give you that much. You know, all he can do is swing on towards really that main breach that they opened up in towards stock. But even still, you know, DG just ripped his head off pretty much. So, yeah, all credit Totem. We're able to analyze the situation. Obviously, that first pick, we have to mention it again. Whoever gets the first pick just seems to run away with it.
Both of these two teams work really well with that advantage and that momentum. And I know that might seem like a really obvious thing, but there's some teams that don't work bad when they've not got it. There's some teams that can actually cope working from 4 versus 5. And it really does come down to a sort of a team-by-team case at that point. But it seems that both VIPERIO and Totem excel when they get themselves that opener. Now, different approach entirely. We do have Joe upstairs. This time he's not playing on the castle. He's going to be playing on the Wamai, and all the hatches are reinforced. Something that I think will certainly give 86 a little bit more security. Did see a pretty quick hatch drop in the first round when Reply approached this site. They saw an opportunity and took it. Now, that stock hatch is still soft, to be fair, so there's opportunity for that to happen again, but with far fewer roamers, it's much more unlikely that Totem are going to actually go for that.
Drone work going out now from Totem. That's what you said you wanted to see, Ollie, was this drone work really be highlighted. It was something that we mentioned in Villa. You know, Totem couldn't really put a foot wrong in that department. Curly has to be careful. A couple of shots spraying right beside him inside a garage. There's Mowgli opening kill. A carry goes down. Where was that from? Oh, he took a trip up the main stairs and was eliminated by Mowgli just because he's so quick to get into a good position to stop those rotations from happening.
This is the Totem that we wanted to see. This is what they do exceptionally well at, is that early drone game. Getting the players in, getting Mowgli in more specifically, and letting him work. Neox is going to shut down Curly.
Is that a fuse charge?
I believe he gets taken out inside of
Wait,
Arsenal.
was that... Well, yeah, definitely a fuse
charge through the kitchen floor, I believe. I mean, that's not a great way to go, let's be honest. That does suck. That's not the intent of a fuse typically at this level of play, but you take everything that you can get. Look at Monkey. He's playing on the breach on Dirty Tunnel. He's got a shotgun in hand.
Oh,
Link, he knows he's there. He's going to take the challenge. Nice wide angle. The shotgun is going to do barely anything at that range. I mean, it chunked him down, but he was certainly not in any danger of dying. And now the hatch drop can happen.
Oh.
Draw. He misses all of his shots. He gets turned and burned. Demo. Joe finds one onto Diju, but he's going to make a full rotation back down into sight. He needs to retake entirely and get himself an ace clutch. If VIPERIO are to come away with this round, the plank going down is going to be the first nail in the coffin, the drop potentially the second. Joe looking to see if there's anybody that he can find free, but eventually Mowgli hammers in the third.
So, again, having that man advantage, having the numbers up with them, and they see the opportunity and they just drop. They know players are off site and they take full advantage of that. I mean, 86 weren't really even in the running for that round at all. Everyone just got picked off one by one, and there was barely any refrag. Like you said, Joe was stuck in a 1 versus 5 in that scenario, and again, so difficult to really ask from him at that stage.
Totem aren't afraid of a hatch drop.
No.
That's what we've learned. Totem are not afraid
They'll take the trades.
to take that early advantage and then use the advantage that they've taken in the first part of the round to then take trades on the site. And that's something that they are more than happy to work with. 3 rounds to 2, as we currently sit. Last round of the defense for VIPERIO. Still an opportunity at a 3-3 split. It's worth mentioning. By no means is this said and done, and no one's running away with this game just yet. But considering it went 1-1, 2-1, 2-2, now we're starting to see Totem chain 2 together back-to-back.
Or indeed. I mean, both sides have showcased they're definitely attacking teams.
Yeah.
I think that has been the biggest thing to take away from
Which is
Villa.
good to see.
But yeah, just defenses at the moment not looking the strongest. And let's see if 86 can do the business. This was a bomb site that they won last time. It was onto, I would say, a bit of a misplay. Big misplay by Totem. Just trying to play off a breach that gives them absolutely nothing. In hindsight from Eisen that time, he just was on a breach that he couldn't stop anyone rotating away. Then it left Link in a horrible 1 versus 2 scenario for himself. And yeah, it was quite simple for 86 to capitalize on that crucial mistake. Hopefully they don't mess up on it this time. I say that mute jammer's there again, but it looks as if they're actually going to use the fuse cluster charge to eliminate potentially the mute jammer if they can catch it. Let's see. Oh, don't. Oh, just about. I thought they were all just going to just go away from it, and that was going to be it. I was worried.
RNG was not on Neox's side there until that last charge actually went off. That's done a lot of things. I guess the negative, the downside of using the cluster charge to actually do that is it opens up a lot of the floor, so all the plant spots are now exposed.
True.
With the way that we see VIPERIO happy to retake, there's actually a little bit of opportunity there. It's actually only opened them up by half, it seems, but still, they can be shot through from underneath, and it's a lot less to actually chew through if you're just going to try and do that. So maybe potential, but we might not even get to that, especially with the way that Mowgli's moving into Jim. Draw will get himself out of dodge and is allowed to make that rotation.
Yeah, good timing there from Draw. Realizes that the jig is up. And Totem still think he's there. It looks as if they do, because you can see them holding on to the angles for essentially a ghost right now. Draw has dropped down below, and I think the biggest worry for Totem, like you mentioned, Ollie, right? Totem are just all in. They've used the fuse cluster charges to open up these breaches. They've rotated towards bedroom. Last time they didn't check for C4s below. They had no intention of going towards lounge. And this is where the C4 action could come in massive. That is so well played by Joe. Eliminates the fuse. Sure, Eisen's got the trade-off, but still, that's an exceptional frag to get, because you've seen the fuse. The fuse was going to try and take out Monkey's shield, and now what do Totem have to eliminate it? Probably you're going to have to get in Eisen with his nades.
You're certainly going to have to juggle some utility around to try and make this happen. With that wall into construction being soft as well, it doesn't give free passage for anybody on the side of Totem to just waltz on through. Monkey Blows the shield to give himself a little bit of cover and buy himself some time. Trying to shotgun out now through the wall. Does grab the down over onto Mowgli. Link, he shuts down Curly in the meantime. Link is still just threatening on the hatch. If he goes close, he's going to get turned away. And Monkey, he sends him packing. He's going to go for a third here, but does get full white flash and eventually finished off. Still 2 versus 3. Advantage here for Totem. Akari inside a garage. Great position to be playing. Draw makes a move on through, looking for that rotation. The long angle paying off there as Akari is able to take down Mowgli. Eisen, that is the kind of play that you need. That is the quick thinking required. Gets himself out of construction, straight over the top and onto platform. Finds the last 2 and makes it look easy.
Phenomenal rotate, and just look at the difference whenever you actually have a breach open. It makes a world of a difference for him. But yeah, just phenomenal work. I mean, Monkey, he's just staying alive, wasn't he? Just the Bee Gees. I'm telling you.
I don't know how he does it. He makes it look like he's got so much time and space when he's just not got any time.
I've never seen somebody unload that shotgun as quick as him. That guy, since he's in, a mode where I'm going to die here in a minute, I'm taking someone with me.
He's got the timing of the sort of the interval timing.
Peak, shoot, pump, peak, shoot, pump. Brilliant.
He's got it down to a T because it is a little bit of an art form. You don't want to be peaking when you're actually not in a position to fire. Totem, 4-2 on the attack. It's a good split.
I mean, if you're 86 right now, you want Totem to have the match point.
What, just so you backs up against the wall and you actually perform?
No, it's just Totem whenever they're a match point. That's
just because
they're
going to bottle it.
Exactly.
I don't know if they want to leave it down to that finer margin.
I mean, this is a big round. I think this is very important because not only does it tell us how 86 are going to pursue in the attacks. I think if you looked at how Totem were playing, it was very calculated. I wouldn't say they went for anything too reckless, especially, we talked about Mowgli and what he did in Villa. He's had a quiet game for his standards, definitely. So I think for 86, depending on how this round goes out, it could decide if we're going to have, again, one of these Totem where they just kind of run away with it and they have that match point, and maybe this time they might be able to close out, or we could have a much closer affair.
You look at the kills on Totem, they're fairly equally spread. Mowgli not standing head and shoulders above anyone. In fact, he's only second top frag. When you look at the side of VIPERIO, somebody like Draw, sitting 2 and 5 currently, he's a player that typically comes alive when he gets himself on the attack. So maybe we are about to see a little bit of a change in the fortune of the players for VIPERIO. Eisen just going to put down the castle barricade and give his teammate a way out. DJU just feeling the pressure upstairs. Got himself chunked down, I think maybe from the main stairs window. Some early pressure from VIPERIO onto this north side.
Drone work going in, and it has to be good now. They need to spot out where these players are going to be positioned. Oh, Curly. I think just seen a glimmer as the smoke popped, and he knew, let's just spray and hope something hits, and well, he did just that. There's a C4 kill for Mowgli onto Curly, as you just mentioned him. It almost looked as if the 86 were maybe just looking for a minimalistic kitchen take, and that's exactly what they're going for right now. Mowgli and Link will find 2. Oh, on the side, shotgun comes out. Draw gets blasted away, and Monkey is all by himself. He finds 1 kill for his troubles. But that quick take worked not as expected if you're 86. They tried to put pressure in towards construction. I think that C4 kill for Mowgli really stunned them a little bit.
As soon as I saw VIPERIO inside a kitchen, my mind is just going C4. Like, where is the C4? Because it's coming. You better believe that it's on its way. And it was, sure enough, and it lands. And all of a sudden you think, well, you've just kind of given that one away for free. You got an opening pick. There's no need to try and rush this. It's almost like VIPERIO tried to pull a Totem. They tried to get an early advantage and then start to trade off the back of that. And there's not really been any trade since. We found 1 other kill, and that was it. Monkey going to be playing close. Got himself into Memorial. His location known. The Toxic Babe canister's demonstrating that. The camera there being removed. Can look to try and open himself up an angle into Church and maybe look to work off that, but Totem aren't likely going to give him an opportunity here.
Nope, good crossfire setup. Monkey now at this stage just feels as if it's delaying the inevitable. Will swing and finds Link with a shotgun. Now a 1 versus 2. He knows the positioning of one of the players inside of blue. It's how will he deal with that? So here's the mirror. It's more, where is the second player? Remember, they have the diffuser. So for Monkey, he has to almost try and get both kills now. They will spot him. Bit of damage being done from that UMP. Monkey opens up another hole for himself, utilizing that skeleton key, but you can see that Castle is as safe as can be behind that box. And now Monkey, what can he do? It's just a very difficult position for him now, and seems to be only a matter of time. Will creep up in towards Church, but like I said, without that diffuser, he can't really do anything with that. Takes even more damage. A valiant effort I'm sure, worthy of the archives, but not good enough.
Just a clean 2 versus 1 for Totem. They don't need to do anything flashy. It's the kind of play that we were hoping to see them demonstrate on Villa. If they'd have played like that on Villa, they maybe would have got one over the line and managed to close it out. Are we going to find ourselves in the same position, Demo? I'm not sure if I can take it again. 5-2. Totem, 1 round away from map and series point. I've said that a few times.
Yep.
And they have struggled to convert throughout a lot of Villa. The majority of Villa. They struggled dearly.
They have, and I mean, if you're 86, do you really want to play that kind of siege again? Do you want to play, you know, oh, we have to play perfect or we're done? Is that how you want to go? That's the question.
Strange to not see the timeout either from VIPERIO. I believe they've still got it.
Maybe saving that for the 6-2, if it comes.
Is it too late at that point, though? You're giving Totem an opportunity to get their heads together. There's only so many times that you can fail to convert a map point. It's got to happen eventually. You give them enough options, you give them enough chances, and regardless of the probability, it is going to happen eventually.
So we move up stairs now for 86, and we've kind of mentioned this should be a much more attacker-favored bomb site compared to the basement, where naturally without a Kite or a Bandit, there's not a lot really stopping you from opening up that wall. They have a Thatcher, something that we've seen Totem that they had no intention of bringing was the Thatcher, and it kind of caused them issues. You know, we've seen them struggle open up the breach at times. He had to bring a fuse in to kind of cover that, so yeah, it's good to see the Thatcher being brought.
Just makes things a little bit easier, doesn't it? And I think that 86 need everything that they can get at the moment to make things a little bit easier for themselves. And Thatcher, it's a quality of life thing. There's a lot of other ways you can get things done, but Thatcher's typically the quickest. Joe. Ooh.
Almost.
The timing. Nearly finds Neox very early as well. That would have been a bit of a crying shame for your Valkyrie, calling for the hatch to be open as well, desperately trying to get himself out of there.
I don't know if you've seen that, but I think you've seen Neox, he went for the prone, almost trying to dodge Joe's bullets. I believe they're actually proning to get a camera down. So even though Joe shot him, he was like, I have to get this camera, have to get it down. And, you know, fortunately for him, he didn't die and he managed to get that going. So, right now, for Totem, they have this roam game, they have the Valkyrie cameras, they can play off some information. I don't know how aggressive they've actually put the Valkyrie cameras. I mean, one of them is inside a lounge. That's just going to help them later on. If anyone's going to look for a late rotate downstairs into lounge, it lets you know if it's clear, if you want to try and go for a C4 perhaps. But Mowgli might be in for a bit of trouble, a bit of a challenge. 86 have droned him away and chased him down the stairs, and 86 seemingly to take from the construction side of things. We'll use a hard breach gadget in that single construction wall, and that will give them an entranceway, but I don't think Joe even needed that. He's walked straight into construction. The other hard breach has opened up that hole. I mean, you don't necessarily need the thermite. You don't need that big, massive breach. Just enough so it deters roamers, or not roamers, but anchors from rotating around the site.
The line of sight is the most important thing, and Curly is likely going to get that now. Now, the hatch being open is a bit of a worry. Obviously, you've got the threat of a C4 from below. You've got the threat of it even being impact tricked off, if that's a possibility. The wall will start to be open now. It's going to be opened at full height, so it'll be nice and easy to get on through. Still laser gates to deal with, but again, shouldn't be too much of a problem. Of course, Thatcher being in play, you can really lay waste to that sort of utility, and obviously Joe's got the ability to burn things as well. Platform is open, east wall, so there's opportunity to make that rotation around. We've already seen just how good a rotation that can be, but still, all 10 players left alive as Draw does get himself into that position. He's got Dijou to try and deal with inside of the catwalk as Mowgli. He's going to pick first blood over onto Joe.
Yeah, Mowgli playing around with his breach, looking for those swings. He knows somebody is lurking outside. Linko will find one before being traded out, but there's Mowgli. He was sniffing around for a kill, and he finds that monkey. Wow, what a kill! Eliminates Dijou's, but still 3 more players they have to go through, and a boatload of utility still on that. Monkey finds another 3 kills from inside of this round, but every entranceway for 86 right now, Ollie, it is locked off with an Aruni gate. They have to take some damage if they want to get through that. There's no other way around it.
Couple of drones for Curly is all that he's got, but there's not a lot of time, and he needs to start making his way on through. A C4 sails out. Eisen shuts Curly down as the plant was attempted very briefly there from Monkey, but he knows he hasn't got the time or space to do so. Picks himself up a quad. 3 seconds. He's got to try and grab the ace. He's not in a position to plant. He's going to thirst for the kill. But we see Totem. They run away. Tail firmly between their legs. An opportunity there at an ace for Monkey. What a performance. He's given it his all inside of that round, but it wasn't enough.
No, that's it. Wasn't enough, Monkey. Got the quad kill. Did so well. Means nothing. if you don't win the round, it means nothing. And that's just it. I mean, 50-50. In hindsight, 50-50 for Monkey. Unfortunate situation. You know, he could have planted on that construction breach, but I think the biggest kicker was you just didn't know where that Valkyrie was. That was it. Valkyrie could have rotated up red stairs. We've seen Valkyrie linger downstairs. Obviously, we have that, you know, that great insight of being able to see where players are because we have wall hacks, Ollie. You know,
we got the X-ray vision.
You know, we can see what people are doing. So, yeah, in hindsight, if he'd stuck that plant as soon as he got the kill into the Jaeger, could he have got it down in time and then maybe got a lucky challenge onto the Valkyrie? Who knows?
I was thinking open up the floor and try and catch the Jaeger on the rotation. It was Hail Mary stuff.
I think he was out of Scalenkian because remember he used all the kills with the Jaeger, so...
You don't know. We've got the benefit, as you say, of the X-ray view, so we can see exactly what's going to be going on, but ultimately, it was a round that was never to be.
Yeah, I mean, it's a closer affair, but the scoreline doesn't show that.
It really doesn't. 6-2, it doesn't feel like it's been this one-sided.
Yeah, but it is, and that's all that matters.
Totem.
Nobody remembers the games, Ollie, just the scoreline.
It's true.
That's it.
It doesn't matter how you get there. Just got to get the win. Totem, 6-2. Are they going to be able to come away with a win here and now? It's exactly the same scoreline demo as Villa. It is almost the same scoreline as Totem versus M&M 3 weeks ago. They have got past form for not converting this map point. It's do or die. This is the time. Last map. Last game of the night. An opportunity to progress inside of the lower bracket.
I mean, Totem, can you close it out? Will you close it out? You have plenty of chances to do it. Don't let Villa drag you down. This is Clubhouse. It's the best of one, remember? It's the best of one, Ollie. It's not best of three anymore, it's best of one. Whoever win this wins. That is it. That's all they care about. Oh no. Oh no. Joe has found the opening pick. Eisen goes down, and typically whenever Joe finds one, usually more follows.
He's like a bus. You wait a long time for a Joe kill and then two come at once. Nade kill usually to follow. It's typically one nade, one with the gun. It varies, it depends. Sometimes it doesn't happen, but it's an advantage, and an advantage that VIPERIO need to try and work with here. Curly, he doubles down, takes out Mowgli. Mowgli going for a run out there?
Yeah, he did, yeah.
This is what I mean. Totem, why are you forcing it? You don't need to. You don't need to rush this.
It's Totem not in good nick right now. They need to try and find something. However, not a lot of movement. A lot of movement though from 860. The rotations start to come round. Monkey will go and Joe on those windows, and Joe just did a quick sweep at the bomb site. And realistically, there's not really anyone, to be honest, only stopping them. There seems to be a lot of pressure downstairs. Joe, there's the second, eliminates the only man inside a bedroom. You have one guy in office, one guy downstairs in gym, or downstairs below the gym inside of bar. So this is if Totem starting to let this round slip away from them. There's somebody started right in towards that 90 corridor. It's going to be Joe. Of course it's going to be Joe. Draw will find one, and now Neox, we knew he was downstairs from essentially the kind of start of the game. And what can he do? 1 versus 5 has a C4. But doesn't even get that close. Joe will find his third of the round. A flawless for 86. Oh, this is fun. This is fun.
What is it about the pressure that VIPERIO are able to perform under? Like, how do they manage to pull it out?
They just pull out a flawless just out of nowhere. And
it's a flawless round demo out of a game where we have seen them do barely anything. Barely anything. 3 rounds.
I don't like this. Because it's like, yes, you know, Totem 6-3. Oh, yes, come on, Totem will finish this out. But the track record of Totem, it says other the track record.
They're not going to.
It doesn't uphold in court, Ollie. It's fraudulent.
It's dismissed. It all comes down to 86's ability to switch it on.
I feel as if it's 86 he has to mess up for Totem. That's how I'm feeling. I don't know if anyone else feels like that.
That's the scary thing. That's the scary thing. When you've got a team that are 1 round away and you feel like the team that are 3 rounds away are the ones that need to make mistakes, that's a problem.
Yeah. I mean, does that say that, in our opinions, on paper, 86 are the better team? Is that what we feel?
I mean, here's the thing, right?
Again, it's all subjective. You know, you can pick whatever team you want to pick. It's, you know, it's up to the viewer's choice, of course. But just at the moment, it feels as if 86 they have more things going for them. It's strange. I've never felt like this before about a game of Siege.
There's another way of looking at this, and there is a way of looking at it where you remove the score from your mind, and you say the score is irrelevant, and I imagine that's what 86 are able to do somehow. But they're attacking sides that they've attacked before.
Yeah.
They know what they're coming up against now, and they can look to work and adapt off the back of that. I don't know why I said adapt weirdly there, but they can work and adapt off the back of that. They did that on Villa, and they're doing it here on Club.
However, Totem changing up their ideas. It is going to be that basement. We've seen a bit of a reckless construction kitchen drop that did not end well for 86, and that was because there was quite a heavy bar presence. There was, what, 3 roamers at least, maybe two or 3, whatever it was, and a hefty amount of utility, a lot of walls being opened up in towards bar. 86 had nothing to do with it. They did not want to challenge onto those roamers. You can see the difference now with Totem. They're not going for that strategy. They've went for the turtle on site. They're just tucked into their shell. They're happy. They're safe where they are. I don't know if that's what they want. I mean, if you're 86, that's what you want. You want to be able to have a, an easy cruising passion where you're in the fast lane. It just allows you to get everything open rapid. It hasn't even been a minute, Ollie, and the hatches are just getting knocked one after another.
You want the time. That's the big thing. Now, there's going to be a little bit of utility soak, at least in the form of Diju.
It's the impact grenades you have to now kind of work for, yeah.
And that's going to be a problem. It's going to require Book to get in and try and open up a lot of that floor, which can be done, but of course you've got the threat of a C4 to couple on in that. Puts a bit of pressure on Curly and the Selmas that he's bringing in, that they've really got to try and land now.
I mean, here's the issue now for 86, though. Ace does not have enough Selmas to open up the hatch and also burn through 2 impacts, because he only has 3. Yes, you might be able to take out 2 of them, but you need 2 Selmas to open up that hatch. There's the first pick. Mowgli finds Joe on blue stairs. That is never a good sign for 86. Whenever Joe falls on the first opening pick, it usually ends pretty miserably for them. However, Monkey has responded with a kill on the D-Juice. They have actually managed to open up the hatch. Ollie was worried that they couldn't do that, and they still have an extra Selma to open up in towards dirt, so pretty much everything is open. There is everything right now that 86 can go for. It's just, what are they going to choose? Is it going to be the correct decision? I mean, if I'm 86, you think kitchen dirt's easiest. It is. That's the bread and butter of Clubhouse.
Fuse is still going to be cold, but it's not too much of a problem. It can be collected here. A little bit less than a minute remaining.
Oh, did he see? I think he can see the back end of the Aruni there. I'm not sure if he sees it. You can just
I think he gets a glimpse,
I can see it, but then again, I'm hacking.
It's highlighted in blue. We can see it. Of course we can. The biggest problem at the moment is there's no drones left here for VIPERIO. They've got 35 seconds, and they're going to be starved of information. A smoke to try and cut off the line of sight, but Toxic Babe canisters equally to slow down the roll. More vertical angles now being open. Akari's trying to hold on from the hatch. If this is a hatch drop, it is going to be dangerous. Curly, inside a dirt tunnel. He gets taken down as well. All the pressure that's coming in from the periphery is falling. Akari, can he steady the ship? Grabs himself one as Draw has dropped himself in. Looking to now push down long as he has an opportunity to take the engagement, but Agumine is going to significantly slow down VIPERIO here. The final 2 kills come in, and who else to pick up that last kill demo? Who other than Mowgli? He has had one hell of a series, and Totem owe him a debt of gratitude here tonight. Stepped up consistently across the full 3 maps, and Totem, they're able to lock it in and progress through this lower bracket.
Wow. Totem being able to finish off. Mowgli, of course, shows up in the last round, and big play from him just underneath that box, and the 86 could not deal with him. A lot of utility, I think the communication, I think that smoke grenade that was tossed out there to kind of block off the 2 guys in main stairs was great stuff from Totem. But yeah, 86 falling short in Clubhouse.
And it was always going to happen. It was always going to happen. You know, you can't rely on Totem bottling a match point 3 games in a row. Well, not in a row, but 3 games out of a very small amount of games that they played. They were always going to try and close one out in the end, and Clubhouse was just a bridge too far. VIPERIO, they just let it slip away from them a little bit too far. One of the heartbreaking things, I think there was still a tactical timeout available for VIPERIO at the end of that game. So there was opportunity for them to actually use that, and further, I mean, would it have made a difference? Possibly not. We saw Totem operating on a different level entirely over the course of the series. And while it was close, the scoreline maybe doesn't represent just how close that Clubhouse was. But Totem, ultimately, the team on the day that just had a little bit more in the bank.
Yeah, they did. I mean, Mowgli, you have to talk about him again, don't we? You know, I think every single map he was causing issues. You know, the consistency. The guy was out for blood today, and it's something I talk about. Whenever you're up against one guy who's on his game, what can you do? You know, what can you do against that? It's just the way, you know, this game is. It's the way, you know, in real life sports correlates to that. If one guy's just on it that day, how do you stop him?
It is very difficult indeed. We're going to go to a very short break, and then we're going to be back with the desk to round out the day and have a look at how this shapes up the bracket moving into next play day. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a few.